All right, welcome back to Modern Day MMA. This is your host, Chris Meyer, and with me, as always, is my co host, Kael Meyer. This week, we're going to be recapping the UFC Fight Night Hall versus Strickland that happened from Saturday night there a couple days ago. We're going to talk mostly about the main card of that one, then a little later on in the show, we will talk about UFC 265, the completely unnecessary interim heavyweight title that the UFC, for some reason, decided to put out. Um, the card itself's not terrible, but there's a couple sneaky good fights in there. We'll talk about that later on in the show. How you doing, Kale?
Great. Can't complain. Just spent all weekend golfing. So I'm pretty stoked. Um, watched the Pitbull versus AJ McKee fight. That was pretty good. Good fight. Short,
Yeah,
but
that Bellator card was a big card actually. It turned out to be pretty good. That AJ McKee, man, that guy's fucking good.
mhm. Yeah, it'd be cool to start seeing some cross promotion fights here,
It'll never
especially when
happen, unfortunately.
nobody in the featherweight division is even fighting. We were just talking about that. Like, there's just no turnover in that division right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is, but yeah, I mean, it's all about knowing who the best is, and it's you just you want to believe that everybody in the UFC is the best, but I'm sure there's always those outliers in certain organizations in certain divisions that are better than the
Yeah.
UFC guy. But
Um, I mean, it depends on who you talk to. Obviously, like I don't know where you rank AJ McKee in the UFC. Right now, like if you go to rankingmma.com, they've got him at number 2 right now, right behind Alexander Volkanovski. Um, it's kind of crazy to think about, but I don't think he's better than Max Holloway. I mean, Max Holloway's, you know, um, he's on another level. But to say that AJ McKee is not a top 5 featherweight in the world is probably, he probably clearly is top 5. Um,
yeah,
Patricky Freire or Patricio, sorry, has been a staple for Bellator for a long time. He was their champion, 2 weight divisions. He knocked out Michael Chandler. He's legit talent, and he tore through him like butter. Um,
hmm
it was crazy.
yeah,
Basically knocked him out and choked him out in the same fight.
yeah. That's a rough way to get beat, eh?
Oh yeah.
uh, just one or
Luckily,
the other.
who was that?
Not both.
Keith Peterson with no nonsense there, holding him up after he got choked out against the fence there.
Yeah,
I thought he was going to hit the
that was Keith.
canvas like Lyoto Machida did when John Jones just let him drop.
I thought it was that Viking guy.
Oh yeah, that's right. No, it wasn't Keith Peterson. It was
Yeah,
what's his name? Beltran, Adrian Beltran,
yeah, something like that.
I think.
I just
Yeah, he had his
his
huge mustache out. I forgot because
mustache
normally he's
guy.
been tucking it in, and he had it out this fight.
Yeah, maybe the UFC makes him tuck.
He's got to go full tuck.
Full tuck. Yeah,
Yeah, that
I
thing
don't
is.
like it tucked.
Yeah, that's one
Yeah,
tuck and one no tuck.
yeah. I've been rewatching some.
Have you? I fucking love that
Yeah,
show.
it's the best.
Yeah, big fan.
Um, but yeah, no, that was a good fight. Good performance by him.
Yeah, I'd like to see him
But
fight in the UFC. I mean, hopefully he's so young, he's still undefeated. Um, he'll probably defend his title a few times at Bellator and then maybe jump to the UFC. Hopefully, I don't really want him
yeah,
to. I don't want him to come over when he's 34 years old, right?
yeah, not after the fact. Um, I think there should be caps on these guys' contracts. Like 4 fights, 3 fights. I think that would help the turnover a lot more into different organizations because you get these guys in 6, 7, 8 fight contracts. It's like, well, that's fucking their career, you know,
I mean, if you
like
can
that could be
burn,
the entire prime of their career.
yeah, but also if you sign a 4 fight deal, I mean, you can literally have that done in 18 months.
Yeah,
So I mean, that's not a very
that's
long
what I think it should
contract.
be.
Like NHL contracts are all 5 years at least, right? That's way longer than UFC contracts, right? Like 6 fight contract in the UFC, you could do that in 2 years.
Hmm.
I mean, I know there's a lot of outliers, right? If you're injured or maybe they're not giving you the fights you want, or you guys are ducking you or whatever,
Yeah.
right? But I mean, some guys do fight 5 times a year or 4 times a year, fairly
Hmm.
consistently with the 4 times anyway. So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think it would help a lot though. It would make things better for the fighters for sure. But
Yeah. I mean, the problem is that the champions can never leave, right? Because as soon as they are the belt holder, they have a clause that makes them have another fight in their contract, right?
mhm.
So you'll never see a champion leave anymore. They'll retire maybe, but they'll never leave as a champion and go to a different organization.
Yeah, but they're getting taken care of financially. So it's like what's the difference, right? As long as you're the champion, you're getting paid. At least somewhat a fair purse. But if you're just a gatekeeper, whatever guy, or even a guy that's coming up, right? A guy that's going to be a phenom or is a phenom and is on his way to the belt, it's a way of them not holding on to them. But
Yeah.
because
I mean, these guys obviously they do have a lot of control, right? I mean, they choose to resign. Like Michael Chandler, he could have left every time his contract was over or almost over. He would be like, "Well, maybe it's time to test myself against the guys in the UFC." And then Coker would give him a bunch of money and he would resign. And he did that every time except for the most recent time. He's like, "Ah, fuck it. Let's go to the UFC." So,
mhm.
um,
I wonder what
you
he was
know,
getting paid. Do we know that?
Michael Chandler,
Yeah.
uh I want to say he made 300 grand.
Mhm.
I feel like that sounds familiar. I don't know. Um, these guys that come over from different organizations always seem to have good contracts.
Yeah.
Like Eddie Alvarez got paid quite a bit, I think, when he came over.
Paid. Huh. Yeah.
Are you?
I'm
Did
trying
you
to
look it
look it
up?
up here. I can't really find it. It's not the same. It said his last fight earnings was 253, but that might have been in the UFC.
Yeah. It says here that Chandler made 500 grand. Yeah, it said he made 840 grand to fight for the belt when he lost to
That's
Oliveira.
good money to
Yeah.
lose.
Yeah, 300 grand from pay-per-view bonuses and then half a million guaranteed.
Wow.
And then 42 grand for the sponsorship.
It seems like a lot. For a guy that's coming over from Bellator, like, just seems like a lot. A lot of UFC guys aren't getting that, but I guess it's for a belt
Yeah. I mean,
because
it
they
is a belt and they didn't have it. It
they
was
didn't
for a
have it.
vacant title, right? So they didn't have to pay
Yeah.
either guy a whole bunch of pay-per-view points probably. So
Mhm.
they're just like, ah, fuck it. Here's an extra 300.
Yeah. Now he's calling out fucking Gaethje, saying Gaethje's ducking him. It's like, dude,
No, Gaethje
Gaethje doesn't
signed.
duck anybody.
That's signed. That
Really?
fight is signed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they
I mean,
fight.
I guess if you say that, you might get what you want. But
Yeah. Well, good, right?
the
Because
thing is, the
Chandler
true
knows.
fans know that Gaethje wouldn't duck anybody. Never, he wouldn't. There's just no way. It just doesn't make sense for him to take that fight or whatever. But it kind of pisses me off when guys say that, oh, he's ducking me. He's not signed. It's like Gaethje would literally fight a polar bear if you paid him enough money. You know, I don't like that shit. But it worked.
I think
Got him to
Gaethje didn't
sign.
want Chandler to fight because he didn't think he earned a fight with Gaethje,
Yeah.
which I think
Yeah.
is
Nothing to
kind
do
of
with being
stupid.
scared.
I mean, he's ranked number fucking 2 or whatever it is, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I do think that Gaethje probably has a pretty good chance of winning that fight, but I mean, obviously Chandler's going to call out whoever he can, and Gaethje's got to fight someone. Who's he going to fight?
That's going to be a banger of
Oh yeah, that first
a
round is going to
fight.
be tough.
Oh, yeah, I don't even know what to like. There's not going to be any wrestling. It's going to be strictly stand up.
Man, Chandler might wrestle him just because he knows Gaethje gasses immediately if you touch his legs.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. It's tough to say. It's, I mean,
That is a fucking wicked fight, though. I'm really happy that they made it come together.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
happy
I think
that
Gaethje's going to sleep him. I think he's going to sleep him.
I think he's going to have a rough first round, and then he probably will sleep him.
Yeah,
I just think that Chandler. I mean, it's kind of like people think he's super exciting, which he is obviously. But the first round, he usually gives it, tries to look for the knockout, and then round 2 and 3, he'll wrestle a lot more because he knows he can't. You can't just fucking explode for 3 rounds, right?
No.
So he paces himself a lot better when he gets a little bit later on in the fight. He slows down a lot though, and yeah, I don't know. That first round's gonna be a train wreck though, man. Either
Yeah.
guy could sleep the other guy for sure.
At any point in time. Just
Yeah,
did
I mean
not
Chandler
wait.
hits fucking hard, and so does Gaethje. But I just think that Gaethje is gonna be there for longer. You know,
Yeah.
same reason I picked Poirier to beat McGregor is because he's just more effective throughout the fight. Plus, I think that Gaethje's hands are so much better now than they were a couple years ago.
Yeah. No, for sure. That Tony fight, he looked amazing.
He looked dialed in.
Yeah, dialed in. Uh,
And then the Habib fight, not so much.
yeah. That was
It's
pretty
interesting to
sloppy.
see what Gaethje looks like after in this fight, though, because apparently that Habib fight really bothered him.
Really.
Yeah, like just getting
Just the
smashed.
showing that he had.
Yeah, um,
Yeah.
you know,
Might have a chip on his shoulder.
yeah, he might. Yeah,
I think Khabib leaving has invigorated a lot of guys to be like, all right, now I have a shot at the belt. You know, like before I was going to get smashed.
yeah.
And, you know, I
But
mean, I'm sure they
also,
don't think like that, but like, you
I
know what I
think
mean?
most guys just think they could beat him.
Yeah.
Right? They're
It's a
like, well,
mistake.
I even though I got fucked up, I just trained a few more months and I could beat him. Like,
Yeah.
eh, all right. He's gonna train too.
No. It just sucks because eventually Islam's going to be champion and it's
I
going
don't
to be
know, man. I don't see the same star quality in Islam as Habib had. He's not smashing these guys like Habib was, right? His ground and pound isn't near as effective.
but we
He's
haven't seen
willing
him on the back foot though, you know?
no, but
So
he's
like,
willing to strike more as well, and that makes it much more risky, right? Habib, the only time he was striking was when he was pressuring you so hard that you couldn't really do much.
mhm,
So I don't know if Islam's gonna have this fucking big reign. I mean, he might, right? He's what? He needs to win 5 more fights, and that's as many as Habib won. So
yeah.
he could definitely win the next 5 fights in a row. But I just don't see the same
He's just going to
dominance
keep
out of him.
getting better too. He's just going to
Yeah, he
keep getting
is.
better.
Yeah, he
And
doesn't seem to be as overwhelming as Habib though. Like his
no,
pace isn't near as high, and Habib was like frantic when he was fighting.
yeah,
Right, like pressure, and Islam just seemed a lot more relaxed when he's
yeah.
fighting, which it maybe is just as good and just as
it'll
effective,
take
right?
it'll take the right opponent to bring it out of him because he's been pretty dominant is what I'm saying. Like he's always kind of cruising his way to a decision victory, but like I think the moment somebody kind of maybe wins a round or wins 2 rounds, you'll see him come out and like maybe start to really put on the pressure or but as long as he's like cruising his way to a decision, I think he's happy to just kind of, you know, slowly take over the fight, slowly win the fight. So I
Yeah,
don't know. It's tough to say, but either way,
yeah. I'm
yeah.
interested to see where he goes. I mean, that lightweight division is so fucking stacked.
Oh, it's
It'll
just
be nice to see
stacked.
this next fight between Poirier and Oliveira, and then the Gaethje versus Chandler fight. It'll kind of, you know, uh,
Hmm.
solidify where everyone is in the division.
Yeah,
Plus,
yeah, for
Islam
sure.
needs. Hopefully, Islam doesn't just come back in like summer again. Like the guys never fight.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I mean, he actually did
it's
just have 2 fights semi recently, but
yeah. When's Ramadan?
yeah, April or something. So he needs to get one more between then.
Yeah,
Problem is, he gets one more, then he's out for another 9 months,
and then
and
he
he's
wants a
gonna miss
title
his
shot.
miss your title shot.
Yeah,
But
fucking
whatever.
guys. Whatever.
Yeah,
All right. So what are we talking about here? This card was pretty good.
it
There's a lot
was
of good
pretty good.
fights on this card.
I guess we
It's
haven't
always the
even
cards
really,
that you don't think are going to be good are good,
yeah, or the
and this
cards
was
that
one
you
of them.
don't think are gonna be good also aren't good.
Yeah, like that Brian Barberino fight. That was a good fight.
Yeah, that was a banger, man. Barbarina just likes to scrap.
Oh yeah,
He just couldn't quite keep Jason Witt off of him. Like
yeah,
every time he'd get moving, he'd grapple him, and then Jason Witt dropped Barbarina twice too.
yeah,
And but it seemed like Brian was going to come back in that third round, but he just couldn't quite.
Couldn't
get
quite
it
do it.
going. Couldn't quite get it going enough to get the finish. He was hurt. He had him when he was on all fours there, swinging his head back and forth, trying to dodge shots. I thought
Yeah.
there, I was like, oh, he's going to catch him here. And yeah,
It's
credit
gotta
to Jason
suck.
Witt just for keeping moving forward and, keeping the pressure on enough to,
Yeah.
Barberina's got a chin.
He's got a chin and he's got a will to win. It's gotta suck, like, losing a fight that you were just so close to finishing, like you were just, it was there. And it
Like
just
Michael
didn't happen.
Chandler.
Yeah, like Michael Chandler. Like that one probably hurt more.
That would probably
Sure.
hurt.
That
one would have hurt a lot, I bet. I mean, it would probably hurt a lot more getting starched like Dan Hooker did. Like just a minute into the
By
fight.
the new kid on the block.
Yeah, by the new kid on the block. Like you call them out, you're like, "I'll fuck this new kid up. He's from Bellator. Come on," and then just get murdered.
Yeah. Just good night. Hooker might fight Islam or no? I think Islam wants Tony.
No,
that'd be a good fight though. Hooker versus Islam.
I don't want that fight at all.
No, the UFC doesn't even want that. I don't even think they want to see Tony get beat like that again.
Islam's ranked ahead of Tony.
Yeah, but he just like Tony's a name,
Yeah,
he's still a name, and he's an easy. He probably thinks at this point he's an easy fight for him.
Well, it probably is. I mean, Tony is. He's not the grappler he used to be.
No, he's not the anything he used to be.
No, I think Islam should fight Beneil.
Beneil, yeah.
Give him
yeah,
Benny.
Beneil probably wants an easier fight. There's no easier fights. Who am I kidding? They're all fucking tough.
Yeah, who are you going to fight? I'd rather fight I'd rather fight Islam than Poirier. Maybe not. I don't know.
Maybe not. Maybe Beneil thinks he can wrestle Poirier.
I mean, yeah. I mean, how could you think
you don't want to stand with him?
Like Poirier's so fucking good, man. I wouldn't want to fight him.
No. He's so he's just so relaxed and focused in there too.
Yeah.
I
mean, you have to. Yeah. Islam probably thinks he can out-grapple him though, right? Because I mean, Khabib fucking murked him.
Yeah, that's probably would be his game plan. But the only weird start that I remember when Poirier fought Hooker, I remember Poirier did not look good in that first round. I remember he was getting chewed up. His leg was getting chewed. He was getting jabbed up.
Same with the Gaethje fight.
I just remember thinking it was a very slow start for him, and then he comes out and he fights Conor twice and just looks like a world beater kind of thing.
Yeah. I think he was emotionally invested in those ones.
Yeah.
Like he wanted revenge in the second fight.
Yeah.
And then
but he's just getting better though. He's just I think he's still getting better. That's the weird part.
Yeah,
or he's just kind of like he's at his peak where he's at his best physically and mentally, and eventually the physical is gonna start to wear down. But for now,
I wonder how a fight with Islam and Poirier would go.
Ah man, it's tough to say. Because we did see Khabib, pretty much thrash Dustin, thrash him, and I just don't think that I think it's kind of weird to think that Islam couldn't do something similar. I'm not saying in the same way, but somewhat control Dustin. Yeah, eventually get there. Yeah. But
it was also a couple years ago, right? I'm sure Poirier has worked on it a lot. Mm-hmm. But also, can you even close the gap? If Islam is as good as Khabib, right? We don't I don't think he is.
It's just a different style. I think he's pretty good. He's just not the same style.
Yeah.
But Dustin doesn't see that fight ever. I think Dustin retires before he sees that fight. I think Dustin fights for the belt. He might lose, might win. And then I guess if he wins, he would see him eventually. But if Dustin loses, I think he might even just hop up to 170 and fight Covington or some dumb shit like that. I don't think I think the next time he loses for the belt.
I don't know, man. I think Covington would wipe the floor with Poirier.
Oh, probably, yeah. But I'm just saying, I think the next time Dustin Poirier loses for the belt, I think he might retire or move up to 170 or just
he's
take
been talking
fights.
about it, right? He's like, look, I'm here to make money, and he's obviously I think he's probably made enough money to retire now.
I thought he made $5 million from that last Conor fight.
Yeah, so that's retirement money.
Yeah, that's you're set, you're good.
I mean, these guys have to live these lavish lifestyles, I think, though, right? It's maybe not Poirier, but I mean, they're I just don't have enough to retire from. It's like, motherfucker, if you can't retire from $5 million, Like,
Yeah. No, I think
you're
he's
doing
good.
something wrong.
In his next fight for the belt, he's going to make tons of money too.
Plus, you're already kind of rich,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Like
After
you've
that
had
first
two
Connor
Connor
fight.
fights, so you've
Yeah.
probably made at least $8 million or like
Yeah.
6 million minimum in a
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. We talk about these Connor fights like they're their own form of currency. Oh, you've had two Connor fights. You got to be set. It's
Well,
Red
you would,
Penny night.
especially the second one or the third
Yeah,
one.
the
Sorry,
first one, you know,
you made
yeah,
12
sorry, the
and
third
12.
one. Yeah, you made
Well,
12 of them.
actually, you only made 12.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
But
crazy.
I mean, he fought for the belt when he fought Max Holloway, right? He won the interim, and he was an interim champ when he went to fight Habib. So he must have made pay-per-view points on that one too, probably.
Yeah, no doubt.
I
He
would I
must
would
have.
assume Dustin Poirier is making fucking. It's got me curious now. I'm gonna look up.
But look up what he made to fight Dan Hooker, because that was like the last kind of in between fight where he fought. Like,
I'm gonna guess 250 grand or 300 grand,
yeah, probably 300.
maybe.
But now he's got his own hot sauce thing. He's fine. Who knows? You never know how much money somebody's making from that. He could be making more from his hot sauce than he is fucking fighting.
Well, they let him promote it on the stage
Yeah, exactly. Connor
a
didn't like
couple of
it, but
times.
just kept throwing it off. Get that
Yeah.
fucking hot sauce out of here.
So he made $1 million at UFC 264. It says that was only his show money and the what do you call it?
Yeah, he's chilling. He's big chilling. All
Yeah, I
right,
mean, I don't,
let's move along
it's
this
got a
card here.
fucking yeah. He's got a. It says 4 million or something. I don't know. I don't know if anyone actually knows, but like he's got to have made like $4 million or $5 million just from those two fights.
Yeah,
Fuck him. He's rich.
he's good. He's chilling.
So let's talk about this fight card. I guess we keep getting fucking sidetracked from other lightweight news.
Yeah,
The Colin Anglin fight wins by head kick over Melsik Bagdasaryan, I think it is. Beat Colin Anglin in a good. That was a fucking good fight. I really enjoyed that fight.
Yeah,
It was only 6 minutes long, but a lot of good techniques, high paced fight from both guys. And then caught him with a head kick. It was a good finish. Edmund, what's his name? Tarvarian is the coach for that guy,
yeah.
I think. Yeah, he showed good kicks, slick hands, high pace. He was eating some fucking wicked knees in that first round, but he managed to come back and
Mhm.
yeah, he looked really good.
That's why it's getting to the point where every fight can be a good fight because everybody's so good. You're not, you're not in the UFC unless you're pretty fucking good.
Yeah,
You
this
know?
guy's got 7 fights, and he looked like he had 20 fights.
Yeah, because people are starting to build up amateur careers now, whereas before you couldn't even really do that. You couldn't get like a lot of guys couldn't get fights, couldn't get quality fights. Like you're getting better fights in the gym than you are fighting for amateur. But now it's the sport is growing so much. Guys are similar to boxing. They're building up an amateur record now. So by the time they get pro, they're already fighters.
Yeah, a lot of people disagree and think it's kind of dumb to take amateur fights because you don't get paid anything, right? You're risking the same injuries, the same health repercussions without any money. But
Yeah.
I mean, if you have 10 amateur fights against, guys, as long as you have a good manager that only accepts fights that you can be competitive in or win, because you don't want to fight John Jones on the amateur scene, right?
Well, yeah. Hopefully you're not that one unlucky bastard that fights John Jones.
Well, yeah, because he
Yeah.
had like 6 amateur fights or something like that. I can't remember, and just fucking murdering people
Yeah.
that are just like, well, maybe I'll have a fight. It's like, oh,
But if you look at the best boxers, typically they have pretty big amateur records.
700 amateur fights.
Yeah. See, like there's a happy medium somewhere in there. It's not 2 amateur fights. It's not 400. It's
Yeah, I think,
probably 5 to 10.
yeah, it's just a little different with boxing though because it's more regulated and there's like, I just feel like all those backyard fucking MMA. Like I've seen so many videos of a guy just getting his head stomped on, and the refs like wearing jeans and smoking a dart. And he's like, all right, hey, get off him now. And the guy's
Yeah.
just wailing on him, right? So, you know, as long as it's sanctioned properly and shit, but it just seems like amateur MMA is so brutal because,
Yeah. It'll get better though. Like I said, just every year that goes by, it'll just get a little bit better and a little bit
yeah,
better. Eventually, like somebody's gonna die, and that's gonna really tighten up the regulation on it. So yeah, who knows?
yeah. I think it's weight cutting. People die from weight cutting too much, especially in boxing
Yeah.
and shit, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a huge advantage. It's sanctioned cheating. It's
I just don't
if you can go
see
in there weighing 20 pounds more, that's a huge advantage.
I just don't see
Huge.
why they can't. I mean, they could implement something very easily. You have to send in your weight every week to the UFC. You just send it in every
Yeah,
week.
but there's they're gonna find a loophole. There's gonna
No,
be a way that guys cheat. There always
I
will
don't
be.
think so. Like not if you monitor it, right? All you got to do is you make them send in their weight every week, and you have to be within 10 pounds of that weight on fight night. Period. Because what are they going to cut weight every fucking Saturday so they can send their weight in on Sundays? Like,
Yes. Yes, I
I
believe
don't think
people
guys
would.
will. I don't think guys will.
100% they would, man. Look what they go through. They go through near death experiences to get there. Why wouldn't they do that once a week?
Because that's the worst part of their job, and they're thankful they only have to do it twice a year.
But they're also thankful when they step in on the octagon and they're 10 pounds heavier than the other guy. That's why they do it. I 100% believe people would do weight cuts every week if they gave them an advantage. For sure they would.
Yeah, maybe. Well, then there's other ways to do it. You send in proof of hydration and a weight cut. There you go.
Yeah, but isn't
Or
there
and a.
loopholes to the hydration? I was
Well, I mean,
listening
I'm
to a
sure there
fighter
is, but
talk about it, and
all I'm saying is there's ways that the UFC could limit this, right? They do. They make sure you're hydrated and you weigh in every week. And because guys, I don't. How many guys are actually going to cut weight every fucking week? Like they hate doing that shit.
yeah, yeah.
So
But
if you, I don't know. I
there's
mean,
gonna
some
be
guys would.
one.
You're right. Some guys probably are savages, right? Like Tony Ferguson, he would fucking cut weight every week. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know.
yeah. It's a problem. It'll continue to be a problem until like a string of people die or some shit. Like it's not going to change. It's going to take
Yeah.
something extreme like that to change it.
Or what they do is
Unfortunately.
they just they weigh them on fight night too, right? And you
Mhm.
weigh in. You can't weigh more than 5 pounds on your contracted weight, right?
Mhm.
I mean, they could fix it if they really wanted to. They would have to throw a bit of money at it and a bit of effort, but they could definitely do it. I just don't think that they care, right? Because like
No, they
if
don't.
anyone
It's
asks them
working.
about it, they're just like, "Oh, it's just part of the sport. That's what they do is they cut weight, right?"
Yeah. Yeah. It's not going to change.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think that I think you would see better fighters though if they didn't have to cut weight.
Yeah, you'd see better fights too. Everybody's competing at their peak physical condition.
Yeah, they'd be at 100% or as
Yeah.
close to it as they could be, not all sucked out and drained.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Probably, I wonder if you'd see less knockouts.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? You'd probably see guys fighting later on in their lives, like heavyweights. They're fighting later on in their careers, and maybe it's because they're heavier, but maybe it's because they've never cut weight in their lives. Who knows?
Yeah. I think it's because they're heavier and generally not as good of fighters. It takes them longer to get better because they're bigger and they can't find the training partners they can like normally.
Mhm.
Because it's like if you're 240 pounds, like if you're in Ganu, who the fuck do you train with?
Yeah, yeah. The
Right?
one light heavyweight at our gym struggles to find any good training, any good training.
Yeah, there you
You
go.
know,
And that's a light heavyweight.
because he just like he'll find guys that he'll play patty cake with, but like I would never train with him ever because it's like in order for him to get good work that's actually going to make a difference in his training, he
There's
has
got to
to
be
hit you somewhat
resistance.
hard, and I can't give him resistance, and I don't want to. I don't ever want to get hit. He's hit me with a couple body shots where I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good. Never again. Like
Yeah.
he's even nice about it and doesn't hit you in the head. He'll just hit you hard in the body. And I'm still just like,
That's almost
fuck
worse.
this. Well, I mean, like it is worse, but it's better in the long run. So
More painful, but better for your brain.
yeah, exactly. And he's
Man,
not even hitting
buddy.
you in the body hard. He's just, hitting it a little harder.
I don't get how these guys take shots to the body like like you see someone wind up with a giant fucking right hand straight to the stomach and they just don't even make a grimace. They're like,
Yeah.
let's keep fighting.
I mean, you can kind of tough. It's not those. It's the liver shots, really. Like the straight rights. Like they're trained on how to like take those, but it's the liver shots where it's uncontrollable. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter how much It's
but
just
even
it's
like
the
shots
opposite.
to the solar plex, right? Like right
Yeah,
in that, like a guy, I've seen guys take massive bombs to the solar plex, and
yeah.
it doesn't phase them. And I just all I can think of is how I would probably die.
Probably, you probably would. Yeah. No, we're not trained to take those. It's
Big chance.
yeah. All right. This Nicholas Stoltz, another this whole card, man. Just KO. 3 KOs in a row. And that's why they fought it like I think they fought at 7:51 or some shit, like 8 o'clock. I can't remember. But the main card was over so fast.
Yeah, it was.
That
It
Cheyenne
was over quick.
buys. That was a really good knockout. Well, not
Yeah,
really a
Jared Gordon.
knockout, but
That was a weird right hand. He came. It almost like he didn't really throw his body into it. He almost like came in like he was knocking a door.
mhm,
It was kind of weird, but it fucking must
yeah,
have hit him hard.
yeah, for sure. Um, so yeah, what did you think of the main event here?
The main event. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It was a good fight, I guess. Sean Strickland basically just was able to out grapple Uriah Hall, and you know, he was a little bit more active. Well, a lot more active.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
first
I don't
round he
know. He
just
just
couldn't get going. I kept
no,
thinking of that adjustment that guy made last week where he started to jab with him and whatnot. I kept thinking like, man, Uriah should start doing that. He should just start jabbing with Strickland instead of trying to like, dodge it or palm it away with his hand kind of thing. Like I just remember thinking like,
Adrian Yanez, right?
yeah, Yanez, that adjustment that he made, that was I just kept thinking like that's what Uriah should do. Just start
Yeah,
because every time Uriah hit Sean with his jab, it popped his head back quite aggressively. And
and
then Sean would back off.
it was very effective.
Yeah, when he would land, it was really good. But he just kept getting like just peppered. And after the first round, Uriah was pretty skittish and he looked kind of hesitant. And then he would, kind of come out exploding after the break, and then kind of, get a little tired. It's just,
Hmm.
Uriah's 38, so I think it sucks because he could have been so good. I think Uriah Hall, but I just think like he kind of wasted the prime years of his fighting career. Just not wasted, obviously, but I just think he could have been better if mentally he was always there for every fight. I think he could have really strung together some good wins, but I think unfortunately it might be too little, too late for
Yeah,
him to get to the belt.
he's like 38, 37.
Yeah,
So,
and we kept talking about how he kept mentioning Izzy's name in the interviews. It's like, man, you're not even close to Izzy. You got to get through two more guys before you get to Izzy, and you're not. You're not gonna do that if you're thinking about Izzy, because you got a psycho in front of you named Sean Strickland, a certified psycho who wants to kill somebody.
yeah, man, it was funny. He's talking about having a jack off at least twice a day.
Yeah, like what?
He's like, I don't know what you guys are doing if you're getting laid every day or not, but like you got to be jacking off at least once to twice a day. And I'm like, oh. He's like, yeah, I'm left-handed. He's like, that's why I got this one right here. I'm just like, oh, all right.
Yeah, he might
Sure.
be a little too far gone
Yeah.
to really get a
Apparently,
huge
Sean Strickland
following.
loves jacking off.
Yeah, he's a psycho, and he just kind of. I mean, I love his honesty, but he's a little raw for sure.
I mean, honestly, if you want to stick out at all,
You
you
gotta,
have to do something.
yeah. I like it when guys can talk objectively about other fighters and give them compliments. I like that. I hate it when guys just downplay everybody else's skills and I'm the best. I'm the best. Like TJ, he always does that. He never
It doesn't make
talks.
any sense to me because if you beat him, then you just beat a bum.
Yeah.
And if you
Yeah.
lose, you lost to a bum.
Like there's nothing wrong with giving somebody their proper dues.
No.
I like it when guys can do that. And he could. He was talking highly of Uriah Hall's skills and whatnot. So yeah. Good fight. Sean Strickland, man. I wonder who's gonna beat him. So he just beat the 8th ranked guy. I mean, who do you give him? Jack Hermanson, Derek Brunson, Marvin Vittori. Like there's tons of guys. I don't know. So he'll probably move up to 8, 9, 8. I don't know. There's literally tons of guys that he could fight. A couple of cool matchups. But he's got good hands. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
I just saw Chris Weidman needing a second surgery.
Yeah, it's too bad,
which is a bummer. You know, he's like, this is just part of my story. It's gonna be that much better when I come back. I'm like, dude, no.
Just retire.
Just retire, please. Don't come back.
Don't ever come back, Chris.
It's just like, especially after this injury, especially, you know, before I was screaming for your retirement. Now you're going to take a year and a half off and after this huge injury and just think you're going to come back. Like, I love a good comeback story, man, but
yeah, man. But, 99% of the time you just fucking end up leaving ass down or face down, ass up, like just out cold.
yeah. Yeah. It's too bad.
It never works out. The fight game is unforgiving, and especially to a 38-year-old man that is coming off of a snapped ankle and a botched surgery. And now you need another surgery. No.
He thinks he does anyways. He's getting different opinions, but I would think he's going to get another, at least a minor surgery, he said, is necessary. There might be another plate installed, and at that point, it's a few months again. So
you're getting a new fucking plate?
Yeah, because one of the bones isn't like the tibia or I can't remember which one, but the one that they didn't work on. And the thing is, he can't even go ahead with this for a little while because the doctor's like, you can't do another major surgery after the one you just had. You have to let your body heal and then do it. So he's got to wait another like month or 2, maybe even 3. I don't even know. Then you can go ahead with that major surgery.
That sucks.
So I don't think we'll see. I mean, we might see him in the octagon again, but it'll be a shell of himself, and he'll be 40 years old. So,
man, no good.
No good.
No good. You know what I was just looking is another thing is Tatiana Suarez is out with another fucking injury.
Really?
Yeah, she got a knee injury now. She's out for several more months.
Holy fuck.
She's never going to fight again.
At least she's young, right? She's young.
Well, she was young. Now she's like middle-aged.
Middle-aged.
Well, for fighter, I don't know how old she is. Probably like, I don't know. 27?
27, 28.
Yeah. I love how Vitor Belfort's going to fight Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah, that's funny.
Hopefully he comes out just looking like 2013 Belfort with traps on his traps.
Oh, yeah. He better be juiced to the gills. I'm going to be upset.
I hope so. And Oscar's just going to be doing bumps in between fucking rounds. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Suarez is 30.
Yeah, so,
Wrestling, man. Wrestling just beats that fucking body up.
Oh, yeah.
Just beats it.
But also, she's so far ahead that I think she might still be okay. Mm-hmm. But she moved up in weight, hey? Now she's moving to Valentina's division. So
that's probably for the best.
You think so?
I mean, if the weight cuts were killing her, it's always the best.
If they were killing her, but otherwise, I'd rather fight fucking Rose or Wei Li or Joanna than Valentina.
Mm-hmm.
Valentina can grapple, man, and she can clearly outstrike you.
Yeah.
No good.
Yeah.
I don't
No
know,
good.
man. That's tough.
Do we know anything about TJ's knee?
Oh
You heard
yeah, he said
anything?
he's getting looked at. I think he's gonna be off for a few months or something. I can't remember. He said something about it, but I don't remember now. Honestly, I can't find it.
Uh,
Yeah, how fucked was it in Montano? That dumb bitch missed weight by 7 pounds or 9 pounds.
oh my god.
What a
Fire
fucking
her.
oh god. How is she
The fans
here
must
still?
just berate her social media.
Oh yeah.
Like she just must be getting harassed.
Oh yeah. And she
Like we
deserves it,
already
man.
hate
She's
her.
fucking so unprofessional.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
That's
for
bullshit.
sure.
All you do is fucking make these fights and then you pull out at the last minute because and these other girls are out of a job and not getting paid and shit and you're wasting their time. She's doing that documentary about the struggles of cutting weight and shit. So I guarantee you she missed weight on purpose.
What a loser. Was she allowed to fight?
No.
Good.
She
Good.
missed weight by
Good.
9 pounds or something. Of course she couldn't fight. She didn't even try.
She didn't
And
even
she moved
try
up.
then.
And she moved up. That was at 135. She weighed in at 144 or something, 143.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's
Because she was a
hilarious.
125er. And then she's like, oh, the weight cuts are tough. I'll move up. And then just misses by 7 pounds again.
Fire her. Get
That
rid
was
of
like
her.
when Johnny Hendricks missed weight at 185. It's like, oh, you sad, sad person. Like,
Yeah, quit.
yeah, but
Quit.
she clearly
Quit.
did it on purpose, I think. Like, fuck that chick. I can't stand her, man.
Yeah, no, that's some bullshit.
Once I found out she was doing it, like, she's literally trying to frame the UFC as the bad guy for making her cut weight and shit. And, yeah. Like,
Soft.
7 people are going to watch that. So, hopefully you're making money on the front end.
Yeah.
Because you're basically fired from the UFC. And if you're not, you should be. Like, I would have got rid of her.
Yeah.
She's nothing but a troublemaker. She doesn't show up or she doesn't make weight and she's just bitching and complaining all the time. Get rid of them.
Yeah. I agree.
The only
Get
fucking
outta
fighter out
here.
there that Valentina's ducked, though.
Yeah. She's terrified.
Yeah. So should we what else was I gonna say there? Fuck. Oh yeah, Nunes, the title defense is off versus Juliana Pena, hey?
Yeah, I heard that.
She got the vid.
Fucking vid.
Probably a fucking anti-vaxxer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Most people that got that shit now have had vaccine anyway.
Yeah.
The fucking thing doesn't
all
seem to be
bullshit.
working very well.
No. Good thing it's being forced on us.
Yeah, well, I
Right.
do love I like some tyranny.
Yeah.
Okay, what else you want to talk about here? We got UFC 265, I guess. We could talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't see
Yeah,
any other
It's
any
just
other
not a very
headlines.
exciting card. There's some good fights, but it's a little bit of a bummer when the main event's just it's not that it's not a good fight. It's just I don't like what it stands for. I don't like that it's being, it's for a belt when it clearly shouldn't be. Pisses me off that the UFC can just bully their fighters into doing what they want, and it just I don't know. This fight shouldn't have been made, but whatever. Here we are.
Well, the fight
And,
maybe should have been made if Francis wanted some time off, but it shouldn't be for an interim belt.
no, it's a number one contenders fight is what it is, and that's what I'm going to view it as, and everybody else should too. I mean, whatever, doesn't matter. So it's a private company. They do what the fuck they want.
Yeah, the prelims has Manel Cape versus Ode Osborne on this fight. I kind of am looking forward to that one. I'm basically going to see whether Manel Cape's going to hit 0-3 in here or not. Super underwhelming first two performances from him.
Mm-hmm.
Just seemed gun shy, right?
Yeah.
Miles
Manel
Johns versus Anderson Dos Santos. That's not a bad fight.
Yeah, like I said, it's a pay-per-view card. There's obviously going to be some good fights. I mean, Rafael Fiziev is fighting Bobby Green.
Yeah, that's a fucking
Bobby
good fight.
Bobby
Bobby's going to
Green's
be
probably
there
gonna
to.
get finished.
Yeah, he might, but Bobby's pretty tough, right?
He's tough,
He's only
but
ever been
Fiziev, man,
finished one time, I think.
that guy seems to hit differently.
To the body too.
Yeah, his switch kicks are just oof. Is everything.
Yeah, they are devastating.
And he doesn't seem to gas either. And he seems to throw a lot of power into everything that he throws.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's talented. That Ode Osborne guy, the guy that's fighting Manel Kate, he's got some. I like his fight style. He's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
That's the early prelims too. Fuck, looks like I'm gonna have to watch the whole card.
Yeah. Okay.
Fuck, imagine that.
Doubtful.
Doubtful.
I'll just send you the highlights after.
Yeah, please do.
Karolina Kowalkiewicz trying to save her 4-fight losing streak or something against Jessica Pena. Isn't Jessica Pena on a fucking massive losing streak too?
Yeah, she's also 38.
Oh no, she won her last fight. Okay. That's good. What else was I just gonna? What was I looking at there? On the prelims, there's Alonzo Menafield versus Ed Herman. Ed Herman has like fucking 35 UFC fights.
Yeah, he's been doing it for a minute.
Been doing it, and he won his last fight by faking a nut shot.
Was that fight? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he was well on his way to getting finished, wasn't he?
Yeah, and then pretended he got hit in the pills, took a break, and then fucking the other guy just gassed.
Oh yeah. Oh no, wait. I thought. Wait. No, something happened in that fight.
Yeah,
What
Ed
was
Herman
it?
got dropped with a body shot, but he pretended it was a nut shot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. Like he lost the fight. He 100% lost.
Well,
the fight.
that should have been a TKO win right there.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he's just like, "Oh my!"
And then
nuts.
he goes on to.
And then he goes on to win by submission.
Yeah, submission. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the most egregious things I've ever seen.
Yeah, Mike Rodriguez, he won by submission in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Good for him.
That was rough. Rough. All Buddy had to do was just get up, get off the ground with them, just dance around, and they just played with him on the ground, and that's what happens.
Well, that and the fact that he kicked him in the stomach, and he said it was a nut shot, so the ref stopped the action.
Yeah, no, I know. I remember. It was brutal.
Yeah, brutal call.
Brutal call.
But I mean, I don't get why, because as soon as they seen the replay, they should have said, "All right, get up now, or the fight's over." But because of the rules, they're not allowed to fucking look at the replay on certain calls and shit. It's so dumb. I hate that shit. Like, oh, this call's like in the NFL, they always do that. Oh, this call, you can't review this call. It's like, why the fuck not?
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Alonzo's gonna fucking knock him out. I mean, he's old.
Ed Herman's so good. The old short fuse, man. I like those
Short
Ultimate
fuse.
Fighter guys, like the early seasons, because I watched all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember I watched them too, and then I can't remember when I stopped.
I think around season 10 was the heavyweights, and they brought Roy Nelson and Kimbo in and stuff. I remember that one. And then I watched
I've seen
up to
that one.
Yeah, I watched a couple past that because I think TJ or the Conor McGregor season, Conor versus Uriah Faber, that was a fucking unreal season.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched that one. I don't remember which one did he coach? I really liked his Conor McGregor and Uriah Faber's like their banter back and forth. Yeah, Ultimate Fighter season 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I watched like up to season 15 and then I skipped a few, and then when Conor came on, I watched it again, I think.
Yeah. Conor grew this sport so much. It's great.
Oh yeah. Well, back then, like he got you back into the MMA, right? You quit watching for a while.
Yeah, I think the first fight was Mark. Who did he fight? Frick, I can't remember now. I think it was that fight that got me back into it. I can't remember. It was a while ago.
When Conor fought?
Yeah, it was before the Dustin Poirier fight. It was
Marcus Brimage?
Yeah, I think so. I think that was the fight. I like watched the highlights, and then I watched an interview with Conor, and I was like, all right, this guy's pretty sweet. And then I think it was just at a point in my life where I had the time to watch it again or some shit. I don't remember.
Yeah, Marcus Brimage um was the first fight in the UFC for Connor.
Oh, okay. There you go.
And then he fought Max Holloway, and then Diego, then
Yeah.
Dustin. Yeah, that was a pretty
Yes.
wicked streak, honestly. Just all knockouts from Diego Brandao right up to Jose Aldo.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he just lived and breathed and fighting only. It was only fighting. There was nothing else yet. No boxing talk. No nothing.
No money.
No whiskey talk. No real money yet. Just
Yeah.
just
I
fighting.
forgot that he won. So Connor beat Jose Aldo, and then his next fight, he lost to Nate Diaz.
Mm-hmm.
And then he beat Nate. Then he went for the title again. I forgot that he had that loss. I thought he streaked all the way up to the double championship, but he lost to Nate Diaz because RDA pulled out.
Yeah.
Man, that was one of my most anticipated fights. What would have happened if Connor fought RDA on that fight?
Who knows?
Like RDA
Who
was fucking
knows?
good back then, man. He's still good, but
Yeah.
he was tearing through people.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
so
and
was
then Tony
Connor.
just, well, I mean, obviously the Alvarez knockout, but Tony just fucked him up. You know, I feel like after that Tony beating, he just wasn't really the same.
Yeah, but
Maybe
Tony
not. I
also
don't know.
gouged his eyeball really, really bad.
Yeah. Well, you got to do what you got to do. I
Well,
get it.
yeah. I mean, if the ref ain't gonna punish it, you're just getting a
Yeah.
free
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
Like if
Kick
I
him
was
in
in the
the dick
UFC, I would kick a guy in the dick as hard as I could in the first round every time.
every time.
Well, why not? You get a free one.
Yeah.
Or gouge him in
Yeah.
the eyes. Just one bad one. Because if you don't do it again, they're never going to take a point away.
Yeah.
So you just even you probably got 2 or 3, honestly. Like you just
Yeah.
rake
See,
them real bad.
I could never purposely gouge somebody in the eyes.
No, but
That
I could
seems
kick a
so.
guy in the dick.
I could kick a guy in the dick. I
Because
can
that
even
one isn't
slap
gonna.
somebody's head,
That's
but I
not
don't
gonna
think I could
blind
gouge
them.
his eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one's mean. That was
That one's
mean.
dick.
I've
Yeah.
been poked in the eye really bad one time, and it hurts so bad.
Oh yeah. You just instantly think, well, my eye's gone. It's blind. I'm
Yeah,
blind.
yeah. Mine
All
was in a fight too. It was so gay.
right.
So I remember, like in that moment, I was like, "Huh, they should take points away for this."
Yeah. All right.
No good.
Song you down. Casey Kenny. Who do you
Yadong.
got? Yeah, I got you down as well.
I don't know. I mean, I think Casey Kenny could probably out grapple him and get to a decision. Honestly, Song Yadong kind of hasn't really impressed me in his last few fights. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I don't know what. I need to see what the odds are in that fight because that's Let's see here. Yadong. Oh, it's pretty much a pick 'em.
Yeah, I kind of figured. Yeah, I don't know.
It's a pick 'em.
That's a tough fight to pick. I'm gonna go with you, Dong. Just cause Casey could grind him to a win, but who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Fiziev is minus 320.
Zeev.
Damn.
Yeah, that makes
Derek
sense.
Lewis is plus 250 too.
How dare they? It's a 5-round fight. At any moment, he could land that brutal KO.
I think it's because Cyril Gahn is the least hittable fighter in the heavyweight division.
Yeah, his
And
defense,
because
man. He's fast.
because he's not going to be doing his damage from the inside. He can pick Lewis apart from range. And that's yeah, I don't know. I don't like that fight for Derek Lewis. I think he's going to get fucked up. And by fucked up, I mean he's going to get jabbed off.
Yeah, the Volkanovski fight, or not Volkanovski,
Volkov.
Vulcan fight. Volkov, that's what it is. That really
Vulcan.
impressed me, man. He just completely shut him down. Volkov
Yeah.
was just kind of scared to throw. He was hesitant. He was just playing defense for a while. It was very weird to watch. I don't know exactly what he was doing to shut him down, but he was just completely shutting him down. And I just think he's going to do the same thing to Derek. But Derek's okay to get hit a few times to get one back. I think maybe Derek's going to come up with some crafty little plan to get him. I don't know what he's going to do yet, but he's just going to come up with something. And it's going to be a Derek Lewis win. That's what I think is going to happen.
You think so?
Yeah, I just think he's gonna come up with something to win this one. I don't know what it's gonna be. Maybe he's gonna gouge his eyes. He's gonna kick him in the dick. but he's
One of
gonna
each.
come up with a way
Do
to
one of
to
each.
beat him.
Yeah.
But then
I
again,
don't
like
know.
man, he plays that range so well. That guy.
I think Cyril Gahn's going to make Derek Lewis look super foolish.
Yeah, he probably will.
Because
Until
Derek Lewis just,
he doesn't.
I don't know. I think he's just going to get kicked and jabbed to pieces. And there might be one scary moment in the fight where Lewis is, pretending to be hurt, or maybe he is actually hurt and then just throws a giant bomb and just misses or something. That'll happen a few times. But I don't think that Cyril Gahn's going to get caught with the Derek Lewis comeback because I don't know.
We've seen it so many
predictable.
times now.
We've seen it.
Yeah.
It's not like it's the first time he's done it now. So, and people are kind of expecting it. Not even expecting it, but just wary of it,
Yeah. Yeah, and he doesn't seem to fight emotional at all or put himself he doesn't care if the fight is boring. He doesn't care. All he cares about is that he's winning. And I just think
That being said,
probably
he
right.
is
He's gonna he's just gonna play it safe and
he is super green though. But I mean, I think he's got a lot more experience than it seems like he has.
he doesn't look super green when he fights. That's for
No,
damn
I know.
sure.
That's what I mean, right? But he still only has like 8 fights. Okay, well, we should make some picks for this because we're an hour in now. So
Yeah. So I'm gonna pick Angela Hill to beat Tisha Torres.
yeah, I'll take Angela Hill. Why not? Just by decision, obviously.
Vicente versus Kies. Well, yeah, decision, of course.
I like this fight. I'm happy to see Chiesa finally get a fight here, and I'm interested to see what's going to happen in this. But I do think Michael Chiesa is going to be able to just grind him out along the cage.
I'm trying to think of like when we've seen Vicente grapple.
I know who's he grappled against. Vicente Luque is a slight favorite. He's minus 120.
I don't know much about Vicente's grappling. I can't think of a fight where we've seen it. I mean, he's got to be like, sufficient. But
you know what's crazy is he has like 12 knockouts in the UFC already.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just unassuming. He's just
Who did he fucking
Man, what if Chiesa can't get it to the ground?
He lost to Leon Edwards. Did Leon Edwards out grapple him?
I don't know.
I'm going to take Vicente Luque. He's just too proven. He's only lost to Leon Edwards and Stephen Thompson in the last fucking 6 years.
That's a pretty good record to be only beat by those guys.
Yeah. Well, he's got let's see. He went on a 4-fight win streak. Yeah, he won 4 in a row. Then he lost to Leon Edwards. Then he won 6 in a row, lost to Stephen Thompson. Now he's won 3 in a row. This guy's fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll take Vicente by TKO round 2. But Maverick is so fucking big, he might just be able to blanket him.
I think Vicente's pretty big.
He is, but yeah, true.
He also was able to beat Magny, though. Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
It was, yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, I don't really know. This is a tough fight to call. I mean, there's a reason that it's pretty much a pick 'em.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know who to pick.
I can tell.
I just wish we had more footage of, Vicente grappling, because that's the only way.
I can't remember his fight with Leon Edwards, honestly.
I'm gonna go with Vicente. I think he's probably in the prime of his career. Had a couple losses.
So is Maverick, though.
So is Maverick, but Maverick hasn't been as busy.
True, he hasn't fought in like a year.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Vicente.
It kind of surprised me like that he was able to do. What did he do in his last fight? He beat Magny, and then he beat RDA before that. Like those guys they don't suck.
No, they don't. Especially like their grappling doesn't suck.
Yeah, RDA's been grappled so many times. Like you think that he would just be able to learn how to grapple better.
And then sometimes he'll grapple other guys.
Yeah.
And look pretty good doing it.
Well, yeah, like what he did to Anthony Pettis and shit.
Yeah, like he doesn't seem to be able to defensively grapple that well, but offensively he's really good.
Yeah.
We even seen him take down Colby and do some
I
damage for
think
a
that's
bit.
just because it's at welterweight, right? Like
Yeah,
he was so undersized.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah. All
All
right.
right.
Well, I'll take Vicente Luque. Let's talk a little bit about Jose Aldo versus Pedro Munoz. This fight kind of came in under the radar. I didn't really expect it.
Mhm.
I thought it was farther ahead, and
Yeah,
but yeah. What are you thinking about this fight, Cal?
I think Pedro is a little too tough. I think he's got a good gas tank and he can take a shit kicking, and that's why I don't really like Jose in this fight. He, he's he's so durable, and he can hit hard too, and he just puts the pressure on guys, and he's got that he's got a pretty good calf kick. I think he might implement. Um, yeah, I think Pedro's gonna cruise to a. I think he might TKO him in the third. That's what I think. He's gonna get him a little tired. He's probably gonna take a bit of a beating in the first round, I think, and
Yeah,
uh,
I think Jose
and then
Aldo's
kind of
gonna win a decision.
really.
Yeah, I think he's going to be much more offensively potent than Pedro Munoz. Munoz does land really good low kicks, but I think Jose Aldo is going to be faster and be able to land first. And I think Jose Aldo probably hits a little bit harder.
Yeah,
And I think he's still fairly durable too. I mean, he took a fucking beating from Jan before he, was stopped.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. No, he's
yeah,
looked good at this weight. Really good.
I like Aldo in 3-round fights too. He might get tired near the end of the fight, but I think it should be enough to win a decision. But I don't think he's going to be able to finish Pedro.
I think of that bitter taste in wait, what? I thought Pedro lost that fight. What am I thinking of? I'm thinking
He
of a
beat Jimmy
fight that
Rivera.
yeah, he was pissed about that loss to Frankie Edgar. And I think he if he feels himself losing, I think he's really gonna put on the pressure in the third round. That's
Yeah,
what I think. And I think
yeah. But also, I mean, um, Jose Aldo outstruck Frankie Edgar pretty easily.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
he should be able to outstrike Pedro Munoz. I just think that he's always going to be there, and it's going to be a tense fight. Like any second, someone could get fucking murked. But I think that Aldo's going to be able to avoid the big shot and win a decision.
I think he's gonna Homer Simpson him. I think he's just gonna come forward with crazy pressure and Jose's gonna blow his wad trying to finish and hit him with everything he's got. That's what I think is gonna happen.
Yeah, you could be right.
Yeah. All right. So I got Pedro in a third round TKO.
That's actually not a bad call. I do kind of like that call, but I have a hard time picking against Jose. He's still pretty good.
Oh fuck yeah! One of my favorite fighters.
So
That's a pick 'em fight in my opinion.
you know what? Pedro Munoz's leg kicks are so devastating. The way he was fucking up Frankie Edgar's legs and Jimmy Rivera's legs.
Yeah. Too
Fuck.
late. You already picked Jose. Okay.
All right, I'll take Jose by decision. I think he's gonna have a big speed advantage. Hopefully his jab's
Yeah.
still on point.
Yeah. Pedro's built like the Kelvin Gastelum of the 135 division.
He
You
does have
know?
a fucking bowling ball head.
Yeah, he's just a fridge.
Yeah, no
Um,
doubt.
all right. Well, we kind of already talked about the main event. I still think uh, I can't. It's so hard to pick against Derek Lewis. It is.
I'm picking against
Um,
him easily. Cyril Gahn decision.
yeah.
He could body shot KO him too. He seems like Derek Lewis gets hurt in the tum tum every fucking fight.
In the tum tum. Isn't he?
Just wrecks
Uh,
his barrel.
like he hasn't fought in a little bit, and his face is coming off of a training camp. Like Gone fought
Who?
a month ago, month and a half. Cyril Gone, like he just fought.
Yeah,
It
he
wasn't that long
fought
ago,
like it was a couple of months ago now, wasn't it?
was it? Maybe it was. I don't know.
I feel like
But
it wasn't that long ago, but
he's just got such good conditioning and defense, man. It's such a bad fight for Derek Lewis. And we don't
yeah.
even know if Cyril Gone, when he does get hit, how he reacts. Like he might have a fucking iron
He
chin.
fought June 26th.
June 26th. Yeah, so a month and 5 weeks ago.
Holy shit. Why the fuck did the UFC make this fight?
Because they needed, I think they needed it. They needed a fight, and
They
maybe
needed
this is all they
someone
could
on
come up
this.
with.
They needed someone on this card because it was supposed to be Valentina or Nunes, right? As well.
I think so, yeah.
Was that on this card?
Well, I mean, they wouldn't have canceled it if it was on the next one. She would already have gotten over COVID. No,
Yeah, I guess.
the next card's
Depending
pretty
on
dope. You got
depends how
Nick
bad they get it.
Diaz, Shevchenko, Volkanovski.
Rosenstrike versus Blades.
Yeah.
Andrade versus Calvillo. Marlon Moraes versus Merab Dvalishvili.
Oh, Dvalishvili's gonna kill him.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Kill him.
probably. But I mean that card's still a month away, so they're probably gonna lose half the fights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Should we wrap this up?
That's not till September 25th.
It is.
Holy fuck, that's so far away.
Yeah.
I'm looking on Google here right now. They fucking never update their shit because it shows they don't have a fight card from August 28th to September 25th.
Yeah, I know.
Like, there's no way they're taking a 1 month break. Are
Yeah. No. No,
I'll
but I
cry.
think. Yeah, I don't remember.
I'll cry. I need
I'll
UFC in my
cry.
life. It's hunting season in September. I guess I'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's wrap this up.
You want to wrap it up?
Yeah, that's it. That's all. That's everything.
All right. Okay, well, that's
Hour.
episode 96, I believe, in the books for the week. We'll see you guys next week. We'll be back to discuss the results of UFC 266. Or, sorry, the results of UFC 265. And we'll see you next week.